Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya
Radha
Madhava
Madhava
Kunja
Kunja
Bihari
Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari
Jaya
Jaya Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi
Vijayavallabha
Janavallabha
Jaya
Giridharadhari Jaya Giridharadhari
Girivaradhari Vraj Janarandan
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjanam
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Oh Hare Rama Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Gauranithai, 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 Jaya Gauranithai, Jaya
Jaya Goranitai, Goranitai,
Gauranithai,
Goranitai, Jaya Goranitai.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Prabhupada.
Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Gurudev,
Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. हरि बोल
Hari bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari bol, Nitai
नित्य
Gaura.
गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल
Go Premanande, Hari Hari
हरि
Bol.
हरि बोल
Namo Vishvat Paramahansa Parikajacharya Ashtattva Shata His Divine Grace Abhay Chavinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
जय
जय
Founder Acharya, Beauty Founder Acharya, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki.
जय
जय
Ante Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai.
जय
Acharya Srila Nidhas Thakur Ki Jai.
जय
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गोवर्धन की जय।
जय
श्री श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री श्री
जय
नवदीप धाम की जय।
जय
माँ जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय।
जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय
युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
जय
बेहद मृदंगा बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय।
जय
ब्रिस्बेन यात्रा की जय।
जय
जय
निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
हरि हरि
हरि
बोल
हरि बोल
Assemble devotees, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna.
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
All glories to assemble devotees, Hare Krishna.
कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
Praise all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki.
जय
जय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय
Hare Krishna, everyone.
हरे कृष्ण
Welcome to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class today. Today we are going to read from Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 31, titled Narada Instruct the Prachetas. And we are going to read verse number 15. यथैव सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति वरः
यथैव
यथैव सूर्या प्रभवन्ति
भवन्ति
वारः
वारः
यथैव सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति वरः
यथैव
यथैव
सूर्या
सूर्या
प्रभवन्ति
प्रभवन्ति
वारः
वारः
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च
पुनश्च
तस्मिन्
तस्मिन्
प्रविशन्ति काले
प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च
पुनश्च
तस्मिन्
तस्मिन्
प्रविशन्ति काले
प्रविशन्ति काले
भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमाम्नि
भूतानि
भूतानि
भूमौ
भूमौ
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
स्थिराजङ्गमानि
भूता भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमानि
भूतानि
भूतानि
भूमौ
भूमौ
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
स्थिराजङ्गमानि
तथा हरवेव गुणा प्रवाहा
तथा
तथा
हरावेव गुणप्रवाहः
गुणप्रवाहा
तथा हरौ एव गुणा प्रवाहा
तथा
तथा हरावेव गुणप्रवाहः
प्रवाहा
यथैव सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति वारः
यथैव सूर्या प्रभवन्ति
प्रभवन्ति
वारः
वारः
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च
पुनश्च
तस्मिन्
तस्मिन्
प्रविशन्ति
प्रविशन्ति
काले
काले
भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमानि
भूतानि
भूतानि
भूमौ
भूमौ
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
तथा हरे एव गुणा प्रवाहः
तथा
तथा हरावेव
हरावेव गुणा
गुणप्रवाहः
प्रवाहा
यथैव सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति वारः
यथैव
यथैव सूर्या
सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति
प्रभवन्ति
वारः
वारः
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमानि
भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमानि
तथा हरवेव गुणा प्रवाहः
तथा हरावेव गुणप्रवाहः
हरे कृष्ण
यथैव सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति वारः
यथैव
सूर्यात् भवन्ति भारः
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च
तस्मिन्
तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति
प्रविशन्ति
काले
काले
भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमानि
भूतानि
भूतानि भूमौ
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
तथा हरावेव गुणा प्रवाहः
तथा
तथा हरवेव गुणा
प्रवाहः
प्रवाहः
यथैव सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति वारः
यथैव सूर्यात्
सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति
प्रभवन्ति
वारः
वारः
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च तस्मिन्
प्रविशन्ति
प्रविशन्ति
काले
काले
भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमानि
भूतानि
भूमौ
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
तथा हरावेव गुणप्रवाहः
तथा
हरावेव गुणः
प्रवाहः
प्रवाहः
यथैव सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति वाराः
यथैव
सूर्यात् प्रभवन्ति
प्रभवन्ति
भारः
वारः
पुनश्च तस्मिन् प्रविशन्ति काले
पुनश्च
पुनश्च
तस्मिन्
तस्मिन्
प्रविशन्ति
प्रविशन्ति
काले
काले
भूतानि भूमौ स्थिरजङ्गमानि
भूतानि
भूतानि भूमौ
जङ्गमानि
स्थिरजङ्गमानि
तथा हरावेव गुणप्रवाहः
तथा
तथा
हरावेव
प्रवाहः
Thank you. Word by word meaning. Yatha,
यथा
यथा
as,
as
eva,
एव
eva
certainly,
certainly
suryat,
सूर्यात्
Surya
from the sun,
from the
from
sun
the
from
sun
the sun
प्रभवन्ति
प्रभवन्ति
is generated,
is
is
generated
generated
varaha,
वारः
Varaha
water,
water
water
punaha,
पुनः
Punaha
again
again
cha,
च
yeah
and
and
tasmin,
तस्मै
Tasmai
unto it,
unto it
unto it
pravisanti,
pravishanti
Pravishanti
enters,
enters
kale,
काले
Kale
in due course of time,
in
in
due
in
due
due
course
course
of
of time
bhutani,
Bhutani
Bhutani
all living entities,
all living
all
entities
living entities
bhumau,
Bhumau
to the earth,
to the earth
sthira,
Thera
not moving,
not
not moving
jangamani,
Jangamani
Jangamani
and moving,
and
and
moving
and moving
tatha,
तथा
Tatha
similarly,
similarly
similarly
harau,
Harau
Rao
unto the supreme personality of Godhead,
unto
unto the
unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead
eva,
Eva
Eva
certainly,
certain
certainly
guna pravahaha,
guna
Guna
प्रवाहः
Pravaha
emanation of material nature.
emanation of
emanation of
material
material nature.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai
Translation, we read together. So, during the rainy season,
During the
During
rainy
the
season,
rainy season,
water is generated from the sun,
water
Water
is
is
generated
generated
from
from
the
the
sun.
from
sun.
the sun,
and in due course of time,
And in
and
due
in
Due
course of
course of
time,
course of
time,
time,
during the summer season,
during
during the
during
summer
the
the
summer
season,
season,
the very same water
the
the
very
very
same
very
water
same
water
water
is again absorbed by the sun.
is
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 again
again
absorbed
again
by
absorbed
the
by
absorbed
the
sun.
by
sun.
the sun.
Similarly,
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 all living entities,
all
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 living
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 entities,
entities,
moving and inert,
moving and
moving and
inert,
inert
inert,
are generated from the earth
are
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 generated
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 from the
from
earth.
the
from the
earth,
earth,
and again,
And
and
again,
and
again,
again,
after some time,
after
after
some
some
after
time,
some
time,
time,
they all return to earth as dust.
they
they all
all
return
return
to
to
earth as
earth
dust.
as dust.
Similarly,
Similarly,
everything emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
everything
Everything
emanates from the
emanates from the
Supreme
the
Supreme
Personality of
Supreme
Personality
Godhead.
of
Personality of
Godhead,
Godhead,
and in due course of time,
And in due
and
in
course
due
in
of
due
course of
time,
course of
time,
time,
everything enters into Him again.
everything
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 enters
enters
into Him
into
again.
Him again.
Yeah, the Bhaktivedanta purport. Because of their poor fund of knowledge, impersonalist philosophers cannot understand how everything comes out from the Supreme Person and then merges into Him again, as Brahma Samhita 5.40 confirms. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda kotishu ashesha vashuvi vibhuti bhinyam tad brahma nishkalam anantam ashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Transcendental rays emanate from the body of Krishna, and within those rays, which are the Brahman effulgence, everything is existing. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Matsthani sarva bhutani. Although Krishna is not personally present everywhere, his energy is the cause of all creation. The entire cosmic manifestation is nothing but a display of Krishna's energy. The two examples given in this verse are very vivid. During the rainy season, the rain, by rejuvenating the production of vegetables on earth, enables man and animal to obtain living energy. When there is no rain, food is scarce, and man and animal simply die. All vegetables, as well as moving living entities, are originally products of the earth. They come from the earth and again they merge into the earth. Similarly, the total material energy is generated from the body of Krishna, and at such a time, the entire cosmic manifestation is visible. When Krishna winds up his energy, everything vanishes. This explained in different way in Brahma Samhita 5.48. यस्येकनिवासिता कलम् जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथः विष्णुर्महान् स ह्ययश्च कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. The entire material creation comes from the body of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and at the time of annihilation again enters into him. This process of creation and dissolution is made possible by the breathing of the Mahavishnu, who is only a plenary portion of Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेव श्रीराधा कृष्णपादं सहगनललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Dehi Pranamami Harite Vancha Kalpataruvascha Kripa Sindhuvaivacha Pratidhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shiva Jai Shiva Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavidiritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalaam Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Vivinnati Vibhurida Janam Vivinnati Vibhurida Janam Jai Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So today, again, we are discussing a very beautiful and very instructive verse from Srimad-Bhāgavatam. So this is 31st chapter, verse number 15. Yes. So this verse explains a very profound truth through very simple and very observable examples. So it explains that how water um, comes from this, like how water comes from the sun during the rainy season and again return back to the sun. So similarly, how all living entities come from the earth and eventually merge back to it. So in the similar way, in the same way, everything emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and ultimately returns to back to Him. So this very simple observation is actually pointing us towards the most prominent or highest philosophical understanding. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, from the famous verse in Srimad-Bhagavad Gita. So everything emanates from Krishna and everything goes back to Krishna. So just to again discuss about the analogy which is used, that we all observe the rain falling and vegetation growing, right? Um, it seems like a simple cycle. We think, okay, this is the part of the rainy season. We have 4 seasons, sometimes more than that. Uh, that we have the rain will happen during this month, and the harvesting will happen. And during that time, makes the all the farmers, they make sure that they get all the crops in the field ready for the harvesting. Um, so it just goes year after year in a cycle. But how often do we think that this actually water comes from the sun and eventually will um, go back to the sun? That knowledge in that way, it's not there. Usually we just say that, okay, this year the weather was good or the weather was severe, we didn't had any rain, we had drought, and we move on, right? But Srila Prabhupada, like how he's explaining it, Srila Prabhupada would have said that the knowledge is already present in the nature, but we are not trained to see it properly. So that's where Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Amala Puran, the light in the darkness in this Kali Yuga, is teaching us how we should see the world through spiritual vision. How Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, through this knowledge, that it can be become our vision to see through things in this dark age of Kali. So, as we said, that this principle, as everything emanates and from Krishna and goes back to Krishna, it's strongly confirmed in Srimad Bhagavad Gita in 10.8, one of the Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita, and it says that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Mata Sarva Pravartate. So I am the source of I'm the source of all spiritual and material world, and everything emanates from me. So what this verse is explaining in analogy, Bhagavad Gita has already directly stating at philosophical. Um, there are a few other examples that we can see that it will help us to understand that when we go to the sea beach, right? Especially like when we are young, when we are a child, seeing the sea for the first time, it might appear that, oh, every time the waves are coming, and that means that every time it's a new wave which is coming to the shore. But then our parents explain that, oh, this is not the new wave. It just basically the water comes, it breaks down, and it again goes back to the sea, and due to the current, it again comes back and form a wave. So similarly, in our life, we think that we are everything is new. We are meeting with new people. We are getting into new situation, right? Everything revolves around me. um, like you know Everything is it's basically I'm the center. But everything is pretty much part of a cycle. It's basically comes from the Lord and goes back to him. In in Bhagavad Gita, uh, so while the Lord showing the Vishwaru to Arjuna, um, Arjuna saw that, all the warriors that he was worried about, that he has to kill them. His grandparents, his cousins, his all the friends and family. He was saying that they all are coming out of Krishna, and they're going back to Krishna. And at that point of time, he was like, Krishna, and then Krishna explained that, don't worry about killing them. They are already dead. So I have done all the work on behalf of you. Everything has been done. You are just a mere instrument, and your responsibility is to take my instruction and go forward with that. That is only what you need to do. So so that's why that Krishna is the main. Krishna is, again, like sometimes it gets explained that behind everything there is this energy, right? Energy is the source. But then it doesn't get explained further that where this energy coming from. Where is this energy coming from? The energy is the source of everything. And that also gets explained in Bhagavad Gita, 9.4, which in the purport Srila Prabhupada mentioned, Mat Sthani Sarva Bhutani, right? Everything rests in me. The entire cosmic manifestation is dependent on Krishna's energy. But at the same time, Krishna remains independent. It's again like that famous example of that, the string of the pearls necklace. So you can see that pearl, but you can't see the string. But without the string, the pearls will not be, you will not be able to have the necklace. So if somebody just think, oh, it's just a pearl necklace just holding by itself, and doesn't appreciate what's the role of the string, that's their negligence. So that's why Krishna's position is, he is independent. That's why in our Gauriya Vaishnav uh, parampara, our main principle is the Achinta Vedavet Tattva. Like everything is simultaneously one and also different from Krishna. So that's why it becomes sometimes a little bit challenging to understand that how it is possible. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is instructing us that it's very hard to understand because we don't have that capacity, we don't have that intelligence to understand all the features of the Lord. So that's why we take shelter of the exalted devotees, the devotees who have seen the truth, and we take shelter from them to understand this in a simple way. They try to understand us like some simple way is like the sunshine is one with the sun, right? But it is not the sun itself, the rays from the sun. It's coming from the sun, but it is not the sun itself. So similarly the creation is one with Krishna, but he is still the supreme controller, you know. So that's why it's important, like, we take when things becomes little bit hard to understand, and it's most of the time it becomes hard to understand, we should take this guidance and from the exalted personalities. Otherwise and this is how prachetas are showing that this is like when Narada Muni came, they completely surrendered to Narada Muni and inquire all these wonderful questions from him. And this is actually has been, like, is one of the most important point, like for any devotees in their life, that they need to make sure that whenever there is an opportunity to associate with any devotees, any exalted personalities, they should take it with any, like, by whatever way possible. It should be that like, opportunity is very precious. um, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in the very famous books like Harinam Chintamani, is explaining in the third chapter that why it is important for someone to take the association of the exalted personalities. It's because that the exalted personalities, they help someone to create the sambandha with the Lord. We are all we are all moving in this world in with our different set of ideas, with our different set, different views, with our different perspectives. We are moving around from here and here and here and there, here and there. uh, Sometimes, most of the time, it's like without direction, and that's why we get hurt. We get like you know we get frustrated, we get anxious, um, because we don't have simply have that direction. So the first important role for a sadhu is when someone is in that state and they come for help, to make them understand that, the position of the supreme personality of Godhead, and create that sambandha. That in our parampara, this the three main principles: sambandha, avidya, and prayojan, which sometimes we call sap. So sambandha, avidya, prayojan. Sambandha is the first step that it needs to be created. So the very first thing the sadhu, the exalted personality, they focus on is to create that sambandha with someone, with the supreme personality of Godhead, because they are the jiva, they are lost in this material world. So first, take them and create that connection with the supreme personality of Godhead. And and obviously the processes for creating this sambandha is through the, hearing and chanting. And when this hearing and chanting is happening, and as that jiva becoming more sincere and dedicated, then the inclination starts to also increase. Now, there is also a question that raised there, that how that inclination increase. What can a jiva do after that the inclination will increase? There are 3 points which mentioned there, that by doing that inclination will increase. I'm sure All of us would like to know that, right? Because all of us want to do that, like how we can increase that so we can go more near to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That the first thing, the 3 points, the first thing is mentioned that first of all, think that I am basically I'm the most smallest at the smallest person. So I pretty much I can't do anything on my own. I am totally helpless, and I need the help. I need the help of the Lord. First thing is that. The second thing is to have this faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So it everything which is happening, that is Krishna is the supreme controller. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And third thing is Krishna is the doer. He is the ultimate doer. He is doing everything. It's nothing. If something also happened on the way in this process that I am going in this journey, it's because of Krishna. When this starts to develop in our consciousness, then what happens when this is developing? The humility is developing. Humility is already there. It's not that a person who is born with false ego. No. um, Humility is there, but as we go throughout our life, and we forget Krishna, and we start to get into more and more into the materialistic things, the false ego started to grow more and more, that this is because of me, I am doing this is like I am the one, because of all these things are happening. But we know that every time we think like this, within 5 minutes we got shown the truth that no, you are not. There is something suddenly happened, and you just thought this day, how often this happened, that we start a day, and from the morning we think, oh, this day is today seems to be a nice day, I'm trying to, whatever I'm trying to do, it's happening, so I get out for my work on time, I get the bus on time, the meeting in the office was really great, and then I meet with my friend in the lunch. Yeah, nice, nice. Everything is going nice. It's a good day. But then suddenly 3:30 you got a call, and everything just went upside down. Like things like that so many times happen. And also there are days where from the morning nothing happens. Nothing happening which is in the right way. And you think this is the worst day possible. Worst day. And then suddenly something happened when you come back home, and things something happened, and you feel, oh, this is nice, I'm feeling happy. So we always go through this roller coaster. So what the sadhus, their role is to bring us in a platform where we actually this roller we can get out of this roller coaster kind of emotion. Most of the time we have all this anxiety and all this depression because people just they get so much overwhelmed by this roller coasters of emotions, that one day it's too high, another day it's too low, and then again, so there is no stability. But this is that but then when a jiva is taking this path of bhakti, then this stability comes. It doesn't mean that the roller coaster situation is going, it's went out, it's still happening in that way, but how that jiva is then respond to it, it's changing. They're still in that situation, something is happening bad, something happening terrible. When we are in this material world, it will always happen like that. It will always happen like that. But how we can respond to it through our own our sadhana, and also by the mercy of the Lord, that is something we change. Like in the class, in the Sunday class, we were hearing the pastime of Kala Krishna Das in the Chaitanya Chaitamrita, right? Like how he was the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but then he got allured by some of by the society, some of the society girls, and then he got allured towards them, and he left Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and he brought him back, like by like by force. So then question raised that if Kalakrishna Das, he was so close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was the the associate, like close associate. Now he is close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then how come he can get that allurement, like attracted towards that? But this is the thing with the material world, it will always happen. It simply doesn't mean that we are practicing devotees that we will not get affected by that. All of us, we have this, we can say that if we become 100% truthful, and we can say that yes, it happens with me, like most of the time, that element comes that okay, let's do it, this is more fun, let's not it's winter is coming, let's not wake up for the mangalarati, it's nice to sleep on the winter morning and things. All those things comes, but then this is the thing that it depends on our own sadhana, and then also the mercy of the guru, guranga, and shastra, that how we can deal with that situation. So that's why um, it's important that we taking association from the like from the senior devotees is, and listen from them, and not only listening, then applying that in our daily life. It's very important. It's one thing is you just take the knowledge and then you get out of the temple room and you forget all that knowledge. No, you try to think about it, that how I can then apply this knowledge. And to apply that, it is also important to have the association of the devotees. Like one person just going and try to apply that by themselves, they say, oh, it's hard. But if three, four devotees come together who have the same bandwidth, they have friendship among them. They said, okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we try to come maybe one day for Mangala, or maybe we read a book, or maybe we try to go to Harinam together. Let's try to do together. Let's try to go and do some service together. This is how the spiritual friendship develops. And then we see that, and those friendships are wonderful, because those friendships we are not doing for any of our own benefit. It's just here, the reason is we try to serve the Lord, but we are not being able to do it. How we can help each other to do it? So that's why. And to be honest, Krishna will always, he will always provide the help that is required, because ultimately, all of after all of this, we are, every one of us, looking for some happiness, and Krishna is the source of all the happiness. So if we are trying to go and get happiness from somewhere else, it will not going to happen. In the same context, there was like this example that I was hearing, and I felt that yeah, it makes totally sense that if these days we can't live without our mobile phone. I was telling someone that day that even I lost everything from of my thing, my passports, my driving license, my laptops, my house keys, everything. I can still work it out. But if I lost my mobile, that will be disaster. Like, because these days mobile has become something that it has everything in it. Now suddenly, if my mobile battery comes to 1%, it will be a total anxiety. Oh, if the mobile turns off. So suppose I'm driving on the highway and the GPS is over again coming from the mobile, right? And I suddenly saw that, oh, it's the charge is gone down. So where's my charger? So the anxiety will come, that no, there is no peace, no confidence. Why? Because that power is not there. And in the same way, we also have this no peace, no confidence, full of all the time frustration, because we are disconnected from the source of power. Sometimes the devotees, you probably have heard them, they said, oh, we are let's go to the dham at least once a year, and we will recharge ourselves. So what does it mean? That when someone goes to the dham means where the Lord resides. You go there, Obviously the environment is different. We are out of our daily life. We can go there. We can have more time to do our sadhana in a nice way in the association of the devotees. Then obviously it's, getting darshan of all the wonderful places. It charges, so that's it charges, so that when we come back for the next 11 months, like wherever we are going from, we have that charge, so that we have that power to execute all our service. So that's how it happened. We are problem is we are, because we are jivas get disconnected from Krishna. Jivas feel really empty and dissatisfied all the time. And what happened, that they try to get that recharge from material things. So if we have a apple phone, and I try to put it in a charger of a Android phone, it's not going to charge, because Apple phone is only going to get charged by an Apple charger. So similarly for jivas, the only way that recharge, that happiness, will come from only from Krishna. No matter how much we try to get other things, it's not going to happen. So that's why the real connection happens through bhakti, the hearing, chanting, and doing the service. And that's where the sadhus, they help us to get us reconnect, to have that sambandha. And once this sambandha happened, then we started to go through our path to sambandha, avidya, and prayoja. So so that's why it's important that we need to understand that um, this is in this material world, anything, we don't own anything. Everything is owned by Krishna. We are just taking it from Krishna and again giving it back to Krishna. And anything which we are thinking that it is mine, it's basically mine. So in going that pastime of Kala Krishna Das is basically, we are in material world, so Maya is very strong. So Devi Eshi Gunomai Mama Maya Duratta. There is the only way to overcome Maya is through Krishna, if we take shelter of Krishna. So, and if there is any point that that connection breaks, then Maya will take over, and Maya will take us away from Krishna. So that's why Prabhupada said that in this material world, the best, no matter what you do, that risk is always there, even for most highly elevated devotees. So the best thing is, try to do your sadhana as with full 100% dedication and sincerity, and get out of here. Because the if you're planning to be here, and you think, yeah, that's fine, we will manage it here, the risk is always there. So that's why our aim is to go back to Krishna, because everything comes from Krishna, goes back to Krishna. So philosophically, this verse teaches that everything is coming from Krishna, everything is maintained by Krishna, and everything is ultimately returned to Krishna. So we know that in the Vedanta Sutra, the verse Janma Yadi Asya Etaha, the absolute truth is that from everything emanates. So then what's next? Then, if we understand that, what is the next step? How do we apply this knowledge? uh, this actually happens when someone truly and try to practice this. The changes happens in consciousness, sincerely dedicate ourselves into hearing, chanting, and service. Then what happened, that the change started to happen through the consciousness. So instead of thinking this is mine, it started to work like that. No, this all belongs to Krishna, and I'm here to serve Krishna. So anything, food, the all the food comes from the earth, which comes actually from Krishna. So that's why what we do, we offer it to Krishna, we offer it back to Krishna. And Krishna very mercifully, he then converted it to prasadam. So in the same way that the our time, our intelligence, our ability, whatever we can have, it can all be used in Krishna, because all of those has been given to us by Krishna. But how often we have realized this, that previously the level of intelligence that we had, after coming to Krishna consciousness, that intelligence has changed. Like, people actually feel that difference, that how this person was before coming to Krishna consciousness and after coming to Krishna consciousness. And this is something, is not like, we are not just saying just from pure, like, mere sentiment. No, this is proven. Like, it changed with all of us. We have seen that this change happen in our heart, happen in our consciousness. So that's why we understand that this, when we understand, and when we understand this is happening, then naturally the humility comes, the gratitude comes, and then it's actually the heart becomes the breeding place for devotion. The gratitude, like whatever we try to do, if we see that we are having gratitude for everything, then actually we see that this is that level that we want to be. That anything that happening around us, we always think about that, we are grateful about it. So that's where. So to reach to that, we need to understand the essence of this verse, which is very simple but very deep. That everything comes from Krishna, everything is sustained by Krishna, and everything ultimately returns back to Krishna. So the best use of everything is to engage in Krishna's service. And if we remember this principle, then nothing separates us from Krishna. And that's why we say that what is the main principle here? That always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And this is how we can achieve, we can remain in that stage. So on that note, I would like to end here. Thank you all. Hopefully there were some points that were be helpful for all of us. We have a couple of minutes. If anyone wants to add any points or any comments, please, you can unmute yourself and you can go ahead. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji,
Hare
thank you
Krishna.
very much.
Mataji.
Thank you very much. Very nice class. I just have a question. Most of us are all Grishtas attending this morning Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. Now, can you just brief as a Grishtas how we can practically use everything for the service of Krishna? Practically.
Mataji, you have more experience than me. You probably know the answer better
No,
than
I
me.
just want.
But
I just wanted.
yeah, I can share some points. Obviously, like, as we, from a very simple things, like, as we are cooking, we are offering it to Krishna. Like, as we are trying to, like, if we like to hear music, we are listening to kirtan. Like, we, in the morning, if in the house, like, do a small arati. We know that it's a very hectic lifestyle. Everyone goes to the, like, the morning, the kids needs to go to the school, we have to get prepared for the work and everything. Like, if we say as a grihastha, so some simple things if we can do from the morning, like, we have a small arati, we can offer some, like, bhoga to Krishna, and then we take that for our prasadam, for our lunch. And then during the day, while we are traveling, if we can, in the bus and the train, we can listen to some of the lectures, some kirtan. And then while we reach into our work, yes, we have to be dedicated to our work, we have to give 100%, because this is something also sometimes happens, that some people, some devotees actually are saying, like, "Oh, when we go to work, try to neglect the word and try to read lecture while the thing." Yeah, when we can read that or listen to kirtan when we have sometimes, but our first priority there, as when we enter that place, is to give our 100% for that work. So while we are doing that work, like, whenever we get chance, like, listen to some of the lectures in the afternoon, go out for a walk, evening, come back if it is possible. While you're coming back, go to the temple and take darshan. If not, come back to home and with the family again, if possible, do an arati, read a verse all together, or do a round of chanting, take prasadam together. And sometimes also devote, like you can go to some devotee's house and together. Some days we have the bhakti viksha classes. So in that way, if most of the activities we try to somehow or rather dovetail Krishna, everything there, it becomes like in a way. And then again, Krishna, like sometimes becomes quite like complex, that how we can do involve everything Krishna in everything, because everything comes from Krishna, that's we heard. But then we think, okay, how I going to go do this like activity and then involve Krishna in there. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam piti purvakam dadami buddhi yogana tam. So whoever start this process and try to come to Krishna closer and closer, Krishna will give that intelligence. So how we can include Krishna, because Krishna is everywhere. But I'm thinking that how I'm going to, because I can't just see Krishna's presence in this activity. So how I can do that? So in a way, like again, Krishna says that if you put that effort, I will help you. And we see that from our practical examples, that how often this happened, that while we are trying to do that bhakti diksha class, we are going to the class every week. And then sometimes the member said, oh, like it's just getting boring every week, we are just coming for can we do something else? And then suddenly devotees goes for a spiritual picnic, they go together to the dham, and then again that spark reignites and they again come back. So there are so many things, but it's important to take that first step, that okay, I want to what I my intention is to involve Krishna everything. Keep Krishna in the middle, and then we will see that how everything just like it's like a jigsaw puzzle, but we see that things are falling into its place. I don't know, Mataji, if it helps.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very practical thing. Another thing I just want to add, even if we are not going to do like Rupa Goswami divided his wealth, 50%,
Yes.
for charities or for people who are needy, and then, from 50%, 25% for family, and 25% for emergencies.
Yeah.
So I had asked once Vedas Maharaj, and I said, how we as Grastas, we can't do as, Rupa Goswami said. He said, as a Grasta, if you have got expenses and everything, like some people, they have to give rent, and they have to give like different utilities are there, you have to pay. So after paying all that sort of things, so whatever you are left with, you can just do that way. So that will be actually looking after your needs at the same time. And what is more important, like as I said, that Gristas, they have got so many responsibilities, children and everything. And we can always say, okay, we can give $1 or $2 a day for running the expenses in the temple. So even if you give $3, and then at the end of 1 month, you are giving $90 or maybe $100. And many devotees are doing that. So that sort of little doing, because everything comes not free. So, we have
Yeah.
so many facilities in the temple, we have free fees, and so many things are there. Looking at the Rath Yatra, how much expenses there was running that Rath Yatra. We think that, oh, it was so nice and everything. Of course it was. Even bringing devotees from overseas, paying for their fare and all that. It's so much. So the thing is that we have to give something, even if we have little. We should not take, even a sannyasi comes and we are, as they say, we should not take any knowledge, even for sannyasis, without offering something. And I know that the temple, they pay at least whatever, they can to the sannyasis, and we take the benefit. So we, as a Gresta, this is our duty. We have to look after sannyasi, we have to look after brahmacharis. It's the Gristas. They are the backbone of this ISKCON. And as Gristas, we should contribute whatever we can. That's what I just wanted to add. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mansi. Okay, so it's over 8:30. Thank you all for joining the class. We will again meet tomorrow. Vancha kalpataruvasya kripasindhu evacha patitanang
Sitaram Pavane
pavane
Vev Vaishnav Vev
Anant
Nankoటి
Devotee Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya
Jai
Srila Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gautam
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Somendra Krishna Das Prabhu Ji ki Jai.
Samavita Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.